know, my caffeine clearly has kicked in. I'd like to know about your bathroom habits with and without caffeine.
But I think any outward attack on another human, underneath it is insecurity.
Welcome to Coffee and Cupcakes with Christy V and my friend Erin.
Hello.
Picking up with part 2 in our series about, what was it? Skank-ass hoes?
Skank-ass hoes.
So in the previous series, we were talking about some experiences that we had with some not so nice women cutting us down when we were just genuinely having fun and enjoying life.
Yeah.
And we
You hate those skank-ass hoes?
And so anyway, we needed to go into more detail about this topic because I think it's so important. So if you haven't watched that part, go and watch the first part.
Yeah, it's good. There's 2 solid stories in it.
There's 2 very solid stories.
Your jaw will drop.
Yeah.
You'll be like, OMG.
And you will be able to relate, I'm sure of that. So go check out that first and then come on back to this. I just want to get back into this topic of nasty bitch skank ass hoes.
I love our turns.
And you know, like, first of all, we're talking about why do they feel the need to, like, publicly cut someone down? Because it isn't like you talked about feeling like the little girl shrinking on the playground, because it is.
That's how it felt.
It's it's like a 2nd grade playground move. And I mean, children do that. Children are cruel, right? I mean, children can be so cruel.
I think some can.
Yes. Okay. Some. I mean, I just don't like them, so
I hate children. All of them are a-holes.
Can be so cruel, but it's immature.
I wasn't like that on the playground. Were you?
I don't think so.
I don't think I was like
No.
absolutely exempt from being a skank at like some point of my life. I'm sure.
Right.
But
Exactly.
it wasn't like a thing. Like I didn't seek children out to pick on them. I wasn't like a snappy girl.
I got upset, and I would get upset if I saw someone getting picked on too. I definitely always had empathy for like the underdog, you know, the kid being bullied. So
I know what it feels like to be the girl on the receiving end of Skankarellas.
Skankarella. Oh,
Skankarella.
Skankarella part 2. That's what this is.
I like Skankarella part 2.
So, you know, it's like kids do it because they're immature and are figuring out they're figuring out where they stand and things. But like, why are grown ass adults doing this? And like I mean, I don't know how old the instructor was in your class, but
A grown ass adult.
the woman on the street, she was definitely mid to late 40s.
This girl is like mid to late 30s.
Yeah,
I mean, that's old enough.
That
like,
is
for
old
sure.
enough to know how to treat people better. And the crazy thing is that you had paid to be in her class, which is just absolutely insane to me.
Okay, so haven't you ever this was a part of my conversation I had with a friend after that happened to me, is that there are certain service fields where people that do them feel entitlement or rock star status or like better than, like, not all. So don't get me wrong. I don't feel this way about everybody in these industries, but bartenders can be like that. Tattoo artists can be like that. And fitness instructors, I think, can be like that. Not all, because most of them are lovely beyond reason. There's just something like, I think they might get a lot of tail or
in demand.
something.
That's the thing. Like,
Maybe,
those 3 things all have something in common. Like, I can remember I was a bartender for years, and it is really stressful. People constantly wanting your attention. The experience of being a bartender and the way that patrons are treating you and want your time and attention can kind of lead you to maybe put up a little bit of a wall that's like, you know, an FU kind of wall. Like, I had people reach across the bar and touch me to get my attention. And I remember going off on someone one time. I was like, don't you dare fucking touch me. I will get to you when I get. And that's not me. I mean, I was all doing like this. I mean, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And I did that a lot as a bartender because I had to, you know, like put that like space there. So I was kind of Skankarella, maybe in those circumstances.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I try to see both sides of it, but we're kind of getting off track a little bit. But.
Yeah, and I don't want to. It's not that I want to like badmouth certain professions either.
Right.
I like all 3 of those professions a lot.
Exactly.
I think they're wonderful. It's not that. I just think sometimes there are certain service professions that get a little bit put on a pedestal and they may get a big head. That's all I meant, especially when they're really talented, which there are a lot of people who are talented that do those things, you know? That's all I was thinking
and
in
my
circumstance.
You know, they have a following,
and
too.
then the other thing is like, okay, you were in Laguna, like maybe she was like a well-kept woman that was in a bad mood.
She wasn't well-kept.
She was ugly.
U-G-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi. Going back to all my playground.
I don't know then.
My playground moments.
Why would women treat each other like that? That is my next question.
Yeah, that is the question.
Because it doesn't make them feel good. It couldn't possibly.
But it almost seems like in some way it's like programmed in. And I mean, obviously I don't have enough understanding of, you know, biology and psychology and sociology and whatever to physiology. Phrenology.
You were a bartender, mixology. We're like getting into Adam Sandler territory.
But it's almost like it's programmed in, because right after this experience that I had on the street in Laguna, after that we went to this gay dance club, which was awesome, and they had like the fun, really great DJ, and they had the little go-go boxes with like the go-go boy dancers with like the sock on their penis. It, like literally, it's not even like the little, like the whole hammock thing that, you know, holds everything.
Just the sleeve.
It's just the sleeve. So he's up doing his go-go thing, whatever. Well, we're having a great time. They're playing like a mix of Michael Jackson and along with like Lady Gaga, and I know your favorite. And so there's a group of like 5 girls there, and they're younger, like maybe they're like in their 20s or something. And the go-go boy vacates his box, and you know, you hear them kind of whispering to each other and giggling, no, you do it. No, don't you do it. And, you know, they're coaxing one of their friends to get up on the box and start dancing on the go-go box. Exactly. Cute. Look over, and one of my friends that I was with, that we had just been on the flip side of this sidewalk experience,
was like this? Was
giving them evil bitch face. She did the whole, like, the kind of like snarl and like, you know, it was like I'm so disgusted with how like ridiculous you are. And I just like grabbed her. I was like, no.
Oh, good one.
I said, don't do it.
Don't give in to the bitchness.
But so why would she do that?
I don't know.
It was like some kind of instinctual reaction. Like, I'm seeing other women having fun.
And being silly.
And judging them. And cutting them down as a woman. I don't understand it. I would like you to help me understand it.
Okay, this is what I've heard.
I don't understand it. Now you go.
Explain. Well, okay, so I'll share what I've heard from other people. The theme that I hear women saying over and over again is women are really competitive with each other, and they cut each other down to feel better about themselves and more secure about their place in their group or their society.
Is that something that you kind of determined, or you heard that from
opinions?
Other
yeah.
I'm interested to hear who told you that. Was it other adults or was it men?
No, these are adult conversations.
Okay.
With women. When you say, oh, I don't really hang out with a lot of women, I hear so much more than not. Neither do I. I don't really like other women.
I have heard that too.
I think they're catty, and I think they're bitches.
Catty, yeah. So we hear catty a lot. I have heard the competitive thing, and then also that's a common theme of that. Oh, she's being mean to make herself feel better, right? She's being mean to you because she's jealous, right? So women are jealous, competitive, catty, insecure.
Yeah.
So all of these things, you're right. These are common themes that we learned about women growing up, that were told to us by, you know, teachers, parents, whatever, or even just sort of generally in society. That is what we have been taught about how women are.
Yeah.
So are we biologically that way, or like, is it nature versus nurture? Or because we have this idea that women are this way, do we become this way?
Like, is it like a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Exactly.
I think it's somewhat that. I do think it's somewhat that, but I think any outward attack on another human, underneath it is insecurity.
Yeah.
I think it's about not being
Absolutely.
enough, not being good enough, not being free enough, seeing something in someone else that you desire, and then you act out because you feel
Right.
stuck and you are unable to express that emotion.
Yeah.
And feeling superior, you know?
Right. Sometimes it's a judgment of that person and being superior, or sometimes it is a wishing that you could be more like that.
That's what I
and that
think.
I think a lot of times is more under the surface. In my experience with people that I've come into contact with that are just really jaded and cynical,
Yeah.
and they're angry and bitter, and it's almost like they're hateful that I'm happy, you know? It's like,
That's so weird.
it's so weird
Like,
to
if you
say
want to
it.
be happy so goddamn much, come on, go get happy. Like, go get silly with a pair of sunglasses or scream your face hole off in a spin class. Like, get off your ass and do something about it instead of talking shit about everybody else who does.
But it's almost like they can't put two and two together. They
Yeah.
don't know it's possible. And I feel badly. Not that I'm gonna pity them or something, because I
Yeah.
don't think pity
No, I
helps
do feel sorry for
anybody,
them.
But it is a little bit. It's sad that they've become stuck there. I actually had a woman tell me one time, Christy, I don't have time to be happy.
Oh, that is sad. Wow. Well, because that's really
I don't have
freaking
time.
sad and bold. Like to have
That was-
surrendered to joy and happiness so much that like you're resolved to be upset and gloomy and sad and bitter and irritated and agitated all the time.
Who says I don't have time to be happy? I don't even. I mean,
Wow,
that's
talk about a rain cloud.
That's but like, how can she not see that is a choice?
Yeah, how can she not see that? But that's like, okay, so everybody's seen Mary Poppins. Remember Mr. Banks? And he was like working at the bank and he was too busy to be with his children. And he was like black suit, banker, all the stuff. And then never made time to like go fly a kite, which is like smell the roses, which is be in joy, be happy, go find your bliss.
Go fly a kite up where the air is bright.
Yeah, but like, that's what life looks like without flying a kite, without screaming your face off, without buying silly sunglasses, without whatever that makes you silly and happy and being your joy, and surrender whatever you look like to the rest of the world, and for the grown-ups of the world to try to like put everybody else in the same sad box. I mean, I'm not living in a sad box.
I'm not living
for
in a sad
anybody.
box. And I think you said something really important too, that not caring what you look like. So a lot of times, and we can also see this when we look at children, right? They say like, watch children play and watch them play make believe. They are not concerned about what they look like. They are just having fun and being silly and ridiculous. And I mean, have you ever seen like a bored kid like start like walking down the street and they're like walking all funny? They decide like, I'm gonna walk with a limp and just see what that's like. And they're just like entertaining themselves.
I know.
They don't care what that looks like. But as, and they're having fun. But as an adult,
I love that.
now that I just thought about this, my husband does this all the time.
He walks silly.
He walks silly. We will
He's
go.
really funny.
We will go.
He's super funny. He is. And he's such a grown up. I love how insane he is and grown up.
That he like polar like he has both of those, like super serious grown up side, and then
It's really cool.
On the off time, he is
Ridiculous.
that little kid. He will
Such a
just like
kid.
prance down like the aisles of the supermarket. Like sometimes he'll actually like do this, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm with him, but
This is who I've chosen to spend the rest of my life with.
which is perfect. Of course I chose someone like that to spend the rest of my life with. And he always jokes that it's what keeps him young. And it's true. I mean, the guy, he's, I'm doing
It's
all
true.
these face peels and bullshit to keep my, keep my beauty alive. Hopefully.
And he acts like a jackass in public.
Acts like a jackass in
And
public.
he looks amazing.
Looks amazing. So it might be the fountain of youth.
That's so funny. I think it is. I used to say it was living at the beach, but think about the people who live at the beach. Way more carefree.
Yeah.
Sometimes people cannot be bothered with putting on a t-shirt because
Too
they're
much
so
work.
carefree.
Right.
And they're wearing
Yeah.
flip-flops and they're enjoying their life.
Right.
They are smelling the roses and flying kites.
Right. Yeah.
That
and
is
being
what
a
it takes.
jackass. So being a jackass, fountain of youth, figured it out. You're welcome. Done.
It's true.
I'm out. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. And you know what? So the next time that, you see someone else out there, maybe being a jackass, that's not hurting anyone else. Their jackassedness is not hurting someone else. Like, applaud, don't tear them down.
No.
Let them be silly. Let them scream their head off. Let them talk about fun and fabulous sunglasses. Let them prance down the street in odd ways. And let's celebrate that instead of
tearing it down. And also, like, if you don't want to be ridiculous or silly and you have a more serious personality, you still don't have to tear it down because you can't relate. Like, you can still laugh inside about something like that and just take that part away, take the ridiculousness away. And if you're an observer of that kind of behavior, then leave with that observation. It doesn't have to be.
You're right, because not everybody is an extrovert, right? If you're more of an introvert, part of the experience is introverts love observing the world and observing, extroverts and you're right. You can have the experience and however it makes sense for you. It doesn't make sense that we're all, being that way all the time. And I'm not that way all the time. No. I'm sometimes an introvert and sometimes an extrovert. Yeah. And I love being on both sides of it. So thank you for pointing that out. You're welcome. I think we just solved all the world's problems in these 19 minutes.
We're
just
brilliant.
Saying. Mm-hmm. That's what coffee and cupcakes does for you.
And having fun doing it.
Doing it. Well, I actually feel really good about how we wrapped up this second segment of, I can't remember what we're calling it now. It was like Skankarillas. Skankarella.
Revenge of the Skankarella.
Skankarella sounds like isn't there a band or something we can't say names of. Oh no, we probably can't. Doesn't matter. We can say whatever we want. No, I don't know.
Do you know what kind of license that gives me in my mouth?
I'm gonna stop talking now. My caffeine clearly has kicked in. And I already switched to water because I was so dehydrated. Like, I went to go pee and I couldn't pee. I was like, I have to pee, but I can't pee. That's probably a sign of dehydration. It's probably way too much information for you right now. But it was the caffeine.
No, people are like, too much pee, blah, blah.
Too much caffeine equals no pee.
Comment on how you pee when you drink caffeine.
Video. I'd like to know about your bathroom habits with and without caffeine. That is not what I want to know about.
Don't do that.
You are welcome. No, do it.
We're not going to cut you down.
I'm not going to cut you down if you share your bathroom habit. Which
you are going to get some serious images.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us back here for this second episode of this topic. And make sure that you do comment below with what you think about this topic. And maybe someone out there who's much brighter and smarter and more educated than us will be able to explain why bitches
exist and why men love them.
Right. And how to deal with them. And feel free to leave your comments below and make sure that you subscribe for the next ridiculous episode of Coffee and Cupcakes.
Bye.